Black gun owner slams New Jersey's concealed carry law. Y'all know I normally don't play the race game, but I will have to say, looking at this law is racist. This is a way to prevent black people and people of color from utilizing their Second Amendment rights of protecting themselves. Instead of going after criminals, they rather go after law-abiding citizens. Um, but before we get started, go ahead and hit that like button, share this out so we get this information out there. Subscribe if you're not already a subscriber, and hit that alarm bell so you know when I'm putting out new stuff. Also, check out my link tree in the description. It has a link to my Patreon where I talk about things I can't talk about here. There's also a link to my Instagram and my merch store where I have I Will Not Comply t-shirts. And this is a great t-shirt for the black gun owners out there. Go ahead and get you I Will Not Comply t-shirts when it comes to this stupid law that they're trying to pass. Um, all right, let's talk about this news. Black gun owners in New Jersey have pushed back against a recent concealed carry law, with one firearms instructor saying the law, like many other gun laws, target and criminalizes minority communities, according to PBS affiliate YHYY. I'm sorry, WHYY. And that's what the first gun laws were actually enacted to prevent black people from using their Second Amendment right. That's what it was about. That's why they first passed the initial gun laws in this country. Um, the instructor, Douglas Wharton, argued that the recent legislation, which heightened requirements for gun owners, will block black residents from defending themselves, while one of the law's changes and increase in fees will further deter marginalized community members from seeking a permit, according to WHYY. Um, the bill will require gun owners who seek a concealed carry permit to purchase liability insurance and take training courses, while also increasing permit fees and restricting guns in, quote, sensitive places like schools, public parks, courthouses, and bars, according to legislation. So let's break this down a little bit. First, you're gonna have to pay for insurance. Gun insurance, liability insurance is not cheap, so they got to pay for that. You got to pay for the concealed carry, the actual permit. You have to pay for training courses, which can be expensive. All this just so you can utilize your Second Amendment right. Something that really the self defense is God given. You have a right to defend yourself. And then when you do get your permit, you can't take it to public parks. So if you at a public park and you run in, but you want to defend yourself, you'll be attacked by a criminal because criminals don't care about the law. So you won't be able to defend yourself at parks. I understand courthouses. That makes sense to me. But bars, you go to a bar, something happened, you want to defend yourself, you can't defend yourself at bar. This is ridiculous. This is all ridiculous nonsense. I advise people, if you can, to run as far as you can from these liberal places. But Warden believes that, quote, sensitive places restriction will block people from defending themselves outside of their homes, according to WHYY. And that's the same point that I'm trying to make here. Quote, black ancestors at one point couldn't even possess any firearms at all. The infringement on people of color in this country has been around for a very, very long time. It still exists present day, but just a different form. The New Jersey Gun Violence Research Center reports that in 2022, the black and Hispanic gun owners are more likely to carry a gun outside of their home. And the new law will not only limit that ability, but also increase the cost, according to WHYY. Quote, when people see these fees, they get discouraged and are like, you know what? I'm not paying for that, Wharton said. Um, Gun purchases by black Americans have jumped over the last 2 years, according to a survey by the National Shooting Sports Foundation. Leon Gruer, a Newark based licensed attorney and organizer of the New Jersey Black Gun Owners Association, believes the increase in purchases is a response to the murder of George Floyd and an understanding that there is a need to fend off crime in undeserved neighborhoods, according to WHYY. See, people got to understand, police don't show up until after something happened. So who's going to protect you when someone breaks in your house You know, who's going to protect you when you're in your car and someone run up on you and try to rob you? You know, again, they don't show up until after something happened. But quote, a lot of people within the black community perceive incidents such as the killing of George Floyd and other incidents highlighting their need for personal protection, Brewer said. Also, in cities that have high crime rates, particularly high violent crime rates, just as in white community, people feel empowered to defend themselves. Many people in the black community feel empowered to have a firearm to defend themselves. Brewer asserted that there are many gun owners in his community who value safety and regulations, further saying that the belief that those who come from marginalized communities are against guns is a misconception, according to WHYY. Quote, historically, ever since slavery, firearms have been a means of self defense and self preservation for black people in America. There is a perception that perhaps during the civil rights movements of the 1950s and 60s, black people in America en masse put down their guns and lived by a nonviolent strategy. But it's far from the truth, Brewer said. Um, the state Senate voted along party lines 21-16 to approve the legislation, which received the minimum number of votes required to clear the House. Democrat Governor Phil Murphy intends to swiftly sign the bill into law. Now, this is what I mean by voting has consequences. So, black people, the same black people that voted for these Democrats and put them in power, these are the same people that are taking away your rights. So, how do you feel now by supporting the same people that taking away your way to defend your family? Let me know what you think. Leave your comments down below. Like, share, and subscribe. And check out democrarepublics.com for the latest in news. Until next time, peace.